Kia ora. After all those warm days and warm nights, we've got a real change in the weather as we head through the rest of today for Tuesday and on in towards Wednesday. Cooler air back across New Zealand. But to get there, we've also got a fairly unsettled looking at Tuesday afternoon with a risk of some thunderstorms and fairly heavy showers across many parts of the North Island and even some on the South Island as well. You can see on these charts this front moves northwards, and that's where we're going to find that risk of thunderstorms through the afternoon for Northland, Auckland, down in towards parts of Waikato as well. That will drift away towards the north, and then you can see down south as well another area of wetter weather through parts of Canterbury as well. You'll also notice the change in wind direction from northwesterlies ahead of this front to something much cooler, a cooler southwesterly. And how do you know it's cooler? Well, you can see the return of those little white patches, the risk of some snowfall about the very highest parts of Canterbury and Southland Otago. Definitely a very small amount, but just perhaps a bit of a fresh dusting about the very highest parts of those areas as we head through the night time. Now overnight, high pressure continues to build across, so we will find the weather dries out and becomes much more settled across the North Island, and even for the south as well. Those showers really peter out quite nicely. But it will be a much cooler night down across those far southern areas as that cold air creeps northwards, back up across in the North Island as we head in towards the early hours of the morning for Wednesday. So a real change in air mass, and that's going to have a real impact on our overnight temperatures as well. Take a look at these nighttime lows down towards places like Queenstown. 4 degrees Celsius there, a much cooler feeling night for you. And even up north, minimum temperatures of 16 degrees Celsius, still pretty warm. But compared to what you have been seeing for the last week or so, a real change and a return to some much more cooler and more bearable nights as we head in towards the next few nights as well. Looking ahead in towards Wednesday, generally things are much more settled compared to that rather active day we've got for Tuesday afternoon. Still a few showers to watch out for, perhaps about the higher ground of, say, Tairafti as we head in towards the afternoon, and a few kicking around the southern parts of the South Island as well. But you can see on these charts, there's plenty of clear sky and plenty of fine weather as well. For the North Island, places like Northland, Auckland, down towards the likes of Waikato, generally a dry day. But a patchy cloud from time to time, you can see just pushing on that western coast. But some fine weather returning through Taranaki, down towards the likes of the Kapiti coast through the daytime as well. We'll find a little bit more cloud pushing back towards Hawke's Bay, Gisborne, Tairafti, and where that cloud pushes in towards the ranges, we could catch an isolated shower. But for many of us, it is a dry story. Might find an odd shower just creeping in towards those far southern parts of Wellington and Wairarapa. But for most of us, it's a dry looking day on Wednesday, but a cooler feeling day. We'll find our daytime temperatures still reaching into the 20s for many of us, but compared to those high temperatures we've been seeing over the last few days, a much cooler feeling story, both by day and also by night as well. So much more comfortable and bearable nights coming back towards us. Temperatures back down to lows, say, of 10 degrees Celsius there for Palmerston North. 19 or so in the capital for Wellington, and overnight lows of 12 degrees Celsius. So much cooler feeling a couple of days in store. For the South Island, we are going to keep hold of some showers around that western coast, and especially down in the far south as well. And it's going to feel fairly cool to start off with, especially for those more inland parts of central Otago. As we head through the daytime, we'll find a touch more cloud pushing in towards those far southern parts of Otago, and we'll find a few showers running towards Dunedin as well. But for many of us, it is still looking like a dry day. The cloud building up about the Canterbury foothills might bring an odd shower, but again, there's plenty of dry weather for much of the country as we go through Wednesday. But we are in that cooler air mass, and that's going to be reflected by our daytime and our nighttime temperatures. Highs in Queenstown, 16 degrees Celsius. In Invercargill, just 14. And our overnight lows back widely into single figures as well. 18 or so, our top temperature in Christchurch, very different compared to those 30s or so we saw through the weekend. As we head in towards Thursday, we'll find high pressure is still very much the dominant force. It keeps many spots dry and fine, a touch more cloud around Hawke's Bay and up in towards Tairafti, and that will bring perhaps an odd shower about the higher ground there. But for most of us, it's a dry story. Keep an eye though on this next feature pushing in towards the far south and west. We've got some more wet weather back in towards Fiordland and those southern parts of Westland as we head towards the end of the week. That's it from me. This is from MetService.com.